I live below a cult leader, and I fear I've angered her.
That's definitely a scary situation.
I, female 28, have lived in the same apartment for 4 years. My neighbors in the unit above me are a couple in their 30s who have lived there for about 3 years with no issues between us. By the way, this comes from, well, this is weird 20. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Keon.
And OP says, during the past 6 months, I've noticed some changes in their behaviors. At first, it was just a few days per week. I'd hear music with heavy bass accompanied by rhythmic jumping. I assume they bought an exercise bike or something, but sometimes the jumping gets so intense that it shakes my overhead light fixtures. The jumping routine has been escalating to the point that it takes place every day, normally between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Maybe they just have a really intense workout routine.
Yeah, it's their jump-centric workout routine.
Maybe it's all about the jumps, and you just didn't realize how much you really need to focus on your ability to jump as you grow older, because you lose that mobility.
Yeah, apparently jumping is actually really healthy for you.
I heard. I also noticed that they called 1-800-JUNK and got rid of a lot of nice possessions. However, I figured none of this was my business, so I kept my observations to myself. About 3 weeks ago, everything escalated. Multiple times per week, on weekdays and during working hours, it sounded like they were hosting a mini Burning Man event in their apartment. The music was so loud and clear that it sounded as if I was at the concert while sitting in my living room. There's clearly a lot of people involved because the jumping, stomping, shakes multiple light fixtures and cabinets. The music is a mix of new age, spiritual vibe, dance beats, and a male voiceover giving weird instructions like, rebrand yourself, surrender yourself, stomp, stomp in response. They're just hosting a Zumba class. I've taken audio recordings on my phone and one video from the hallway during these events. I still didn't complain to the building, but I wanted evidence in case it became a regular thing. This week, I've encountered a big problem. The couple above me has a private patio, which is directly above my bedroom. I came home from a 3-day trip out of town yesterday, and my ceiling is legitimately collapsing in one corner. Big chunks of plaster had fallen to the ground, and I saw a little water. Uh-oh. And now we got to get the landlord in.
Jumping so hard they're breaking the building.
I immediately called my superintendent since I didn't want to be buried alive by ceiling rubble if it gives out. When he came to check it out, he was shocked and pissed. He said that the woman in the couple appears to be working with some people, doing workshops or something. He can see their patio from his apartment window and has watched the group do these dancing, jumping, dirt rituals out there on a weekly basis.
Dirt rituals?
What's a dirt ritual?
You piqued Dakota's interest.
Dirt ritual?
What does that mean?
Are they eating all your dirt, Sophia?
No, my dirt!
Are they making mud pies?
Who's to say? He said they all dance and jump to the music and then spread dirt, along with something else. He doesn't know what it is. He's like, I don't know. It just looks like red, and it's kind of dark, and it smells like iron. But I don't know what it could be.
I'm sure it's nothing.
And he was never heard from again.
Across the patio on a weekly basis. He believes that the dirt and unknown substance combo is getting through the wooden cracks, absorbing water, and weighing down my ceiling. This is scary.
They are the cult of the worm.
Cult of the worm.
Cult of the worm.
In order to fix the problem, my super said he had to go talk to the woman, check out their patio, and ultimately hire a contractor to pull up the wood to scrape out whatever the heck is causing my ceiling to fall. I could hear them talking from my room, and the woman sounded distraught and defensive. Not my dirt! You can't take my dirt! My rituals! I won't be able to perform them!
This dirt of
My
mine
bugs!
is of great importance.
She's just like casting spells on this guy. She's like, you rue the day when you tried to take my dirt rituals. Cha! And he's like, oh, you just got dirt over my nice shirt.
Wait, so what do? I just say fireball?
Lightning bolt.
Dirt cultist. The most dangerous of all.
Never mess with a dirt cultist.
For he who controls the dirt controls all.
From dust to dust. From dirt to dirt. When my super left, he called me and warned me that she might try to come down to my apartment and demand to see the damage, but don't let her in. This was a little concerning to me. Is she a threat? The damage is real. I wouldn't mind showing her. She started playing her music again, relatively loud, kind of like a warning shot. And if you're new here, there are multiple parts to this story, so make sure to follow us on the iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts. Okay, let's get back into the story. I mentioned the music, jumping to the super, and said I had audio recordings. He started begging me to send the evidence to the front office. It sounds like he wants them evicted. I said, okay, sure. I hate to be a rat, but if I have to choose sides, I'll side with the building that dictates my annual rent price. He called me twice more that afternoon to confirm that I shared my evidence, and I said yes. OP is so chill. She's like, I don't want to be a snitch. Yeah, my ceiling's collapsing, but like, who am I to judge?
They got weird dirt beliefs. Hey, who am I?
We all got weird things.
We are all part of the dirt. Oh no, I'm joining the cult.
Shoot, Dakota.
I didn't mean to.
It's
I'm sorry.
It's Dirt Coda now.
Dirt Coda.
Shortly after everything went down, I left my apartment to run an errand. Then the woman was outside, just standing on the sidewalk, and stared at me the whole time as I walked by. She's like,
Her eyes were fixed upon me.
I ignored her. This isn't my fault. No, I thought it was. OP?
No, they do. They do. You're part of the cult now. You're part of the
You're
cult
part
ritual.
Of the cult. Watch out.
And the dirty, non-dirt believers beneath us will rue the day.
You clean people will rue the day you messed with the dirty dirt culters.
What is their dirt cult goal, I wonder? Do they like want like
Compost?
they're on like the second level of this building, so it's
Yeah.
like are they trying to like make it so that like dirt rises?
Yeah.
All of the dirt in the world rises up to where they are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You nailed it.
She knows it.
Now today, I went to run another quick errand in the neighborhood. When I returned, the couple was again standing on the sidewalk. Both of them this time. This is getting a little scary. Followed me into the building and then waited until I was opening my apartment door to confront me. They were both wearing creepy fake smiles. The woman had horse girl hair down to her waist and started interrogating me.
What is? I'm sorry.
It's just like long hair.
Okay.
Long hair.
Long horse girl hair.
They asked, is your ceiling really collapsing? When did it start? Do you think it was related to the recent rainfall? Because our patio is just fine. I was a little uncomfortable. Were they waiting for me outside? How did they know I even left the building? Why were they both standing there? I've literally never seen them enter together in their 3 years of living here. But I have nothing to hide, so I confirm the damage is pretty bad. I just don't want it to fall during the winter. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but hopefully the work will be done quickly for everyone's sake. They seemed satisfied enough, so I said, have a good day, and shut my door. I'm getting the sense that they're nervous about what the contractors will find when they tear open their patio. What the F is up with dirt rituals? Who are these people she's working with? I don't know what they look like or why they're available to stomp around on weekdays. The repair work has started on both sides, but the contractors will come on Wednesday for the grand reveal of what's under the patio that's making my ceiling collapse.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy.
Oh, what do they got under there, dude?
They got some skeletons in their patio.
They got like what do they got buried under the floorboards? Edgar Allan Poe style.
Yeah, OP's like, I've been noticing a lot of mushrooms growing on my ceiling.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a
And I also feel really guilty about something.
yes.
In the meantime, I feel like I need to be alert and keep my eyes out for these people, as well as the couple. It's unusual for me to see them in general, especially twice in 2 days. They seem scared and in denial of the problem. They also literally ambushed me. Hopefully it's over soon. Audio recordings? We have audio recordings?
What?
Guys, we have audio recordings. And Keon's going to find those, but I'm going to read the comments. Comment 1, I have long, straight, dark hair, being half indigenous and half white, and I hope people don't associate me with creepy horse girls like this. Kind of wish people would stop with the long hair equals weird thing when it's a cultural, spiritual, and genetic thing for us.
Wow. That was a
don't-
very
yeah.
specific horse girl centric
Okay.
comment.
Well, no, I do want to say, like, long hair is, like, very much a very important thing in a lot of different cultures. I don't think that's what OP was going for, though.
Yeah, if
I
you
think
have-
OP was going for, like, cultist, I'm describing what she looks like.
If your
vibe.
hair is too long, you're not to be trusted.
I don't think
It's
that's
a general rule. What are you hiding?
What are you hiding in your
What's
hair?
in all that hair? What do you keep
Um,
in that hair?
No, long hair is
That
totally
it has to be
fine.
so long. Don't listen to her.
But dirt rituals.
No, it's not. Cut your hair.
Fine.
Cut all your hair off.
Don't cut all your hair
Cut all
off.
your hair off. Send it to me in a bag.
What?
Because I'm a hair cultist.
Oh
Bum,
no!
I think.
Don't
And
do
there
that,
we
please.
go.
Don't actually do that, please.
So this is a video.
Oh!
This is a video.
Okay, so it's like peeling
Okay.
apart.
That's what it looks like. That's.
There's a.
Hold on. I don't know if we can hear it.
What did they bury in
It's
the
not very-
floor? Is it just more dirt? I think that's.
I
yeah.
can hear it.
Chat, can you hear it? Let me know if
Yeah.
you can hear it. I can maybe change that.
Oh my god.
It's like a thumping.
It's a
That's
thumping.
the thumping of the heart
That's terrifying.
of the person buried in their ceiling.
It literally sounds like a heart beating.
Yeah, this is literally the telltale heart, Edgar Allan Poe.
I'm scared.
What are they build? Are they building a homunculus?
Oh, okay. We're getting a full video here.
There's plaster on the
They
floor.
can't hear it. Okay.
Yeah, for our audio
There's
listeners,
See if you can hear it.
the
The
ceiling
ceiling's
is peeled
peeling.
and cracked.
and there's plaster on the floor, and we're watching this video. Oh, and there's more peeling on the ceiling in what seems to maybe be a bathroom. I don't know.
That's what I would have said when they confronted me. They were like,
Yeah.
"Do you think your ceiling's really caving in? Like our
Yes.
patio's fine. Like what do you? It's from." I'm like, I don't know if it's from the dirt or from everyone jumping up
Yeah.
and down and thumping all the time.
Probably not helpful.
I'd be like, I don't have a
I'd give
problem
them
with
the
you,
piece of the plaster.
but the landlord has a problem with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Sorry.
I report to the Lord of my land,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But we have an update.
Just want to see if there's anything. I'm gonna keep going through this video.
Oh, yikes. There's a lot of like mold kind of stuff on that
Are
side.
they just like spraying like water and dirt and
I
goop?
guess so. Oh, yeah. The ceiling is not looking good for podcast
Here,
listeners.
if you guys are quiet for a second, I think they can sort of hear. Here, let me.
It just sounds like an old like ka-chunk,
It just sounds like
ka-chunk,
Yeah.
something
What is-
like there.
it's just a yeah. But we're gonna get into the update and
Sounds
see
like
if
a
OP
washer?
figures out
It
what's
does.
It does sound a bit
Sounds
like a washer.
yeah, it sounds like a washing machine with a brick in it.
Yeah. But we got an update. The contractors came today and reported that there was, in fact, dirt and sludge
No.
visible below the neighbor's patio.
That's the next step of the
Uh-oh.
dirt cult. Is the
They
sludge
melted
cult.
the people down
Sludge.
into sludge.
Bathe with the sludge.
However, thanks to the help of my internet sleuthing friend, I've gained a lot more insight into the realm that dwells above me. Spooky. As one Redditor suggested, nice work. My neighbor is affiliated with multiple ecstatic dance communities, both international and local.
Is that just people who are
What
like
does that
really
mean?
jazzed about
They're
dancing?
like, I love dance.
Yeah, I'm just ecstatic for dance. And they're just doing like the boom, taka boom. taka,
Yeah.
Quick,
They're
both
like,
of you
I love dance.
Both of you show me your jazz hands. Go. Those are jazz fingers. I don't like.
Stop. Get your jazz fingers out.
Joined Keon's cult now.
Oh
cult
no,
of the
we're in the
jazz
jazz
fair.
cult. Oh man. The international group has planned events during which all cells of the organization host dance sessions simultaneously. They're like, and 1, 2, 3. Everyone start dancing right now, all across the world.
It's like if everyone in the world like jumped at the same time, we could change the axis that the world sits upon.
Exactly.
They're trying to
That's their
shift
plan.
the poles.
That's their evil plan.
Yeah,
Shift the poles.
they're trying to flip the poles from north to south.
Mm-hmm. It also has a YouTube channel that streams psytrance music 24/7. I listened to a portion of it, and a female voiceover declared, "You are becoming the game master."
What
We're playing D&D now.
is this? What?
This is a giant. All along, it's been a giant D&D group.
What?
Meanwhile, the local groups seem to be more exclusive and more radical in their mindset. One of the local groups, hosted by my neighbor's good friend, conducts 3-day events that cost upwards of $400 for admission. Participation in all 3 days is mandatory. I get the impression they all sleep in the studio space. And the event description mentions that it begins with a ritual. A dirt ritual.
Ooh.
The last and darkest affiliation that I've confirmed via social media footprints is that my neighbor and a few members of the local communities are also involved with some compassionate passing groups. There's no way for me to verify at this time if the affiliations overlap in a meaningful way, so I will simply state the facts that I have evidence to prove. What do you think? Because it's not passing, it's D word, compassionate.
Yes. Compassionate
Deep
shuffling
group,
off
yes.
of the mortal coil.
What exactly is that?
I don't know, but I'm getting the feeling that this dirt has something to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like the dirt used during funerals, putting over the coffin.
I
Maybe
swear.
it's something like that.
If they're like, if this dirt's got human remains in it, I swear on my mama, that's gross.
It's probably at least got animal remains.
I swear I don't like it at all.
Yeah, they like spray the, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting, now it's getting spooky now. The
Red Bull
spookiness
Rana
is
says
hitting.
compassionate. This is when you are being told by a doctor that you can pass on your own terms, which honestly is not like that. That honestly is not that bad. That's like,
Yeah, but if your own terms are, I want you to turn me into goo and spread me in your
Yeah, no,
apartment
that's not
on the
great.
floor.
That's not great.
That, I don't know. And I want everyone to jump on my dirt. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Oh, please tell me that's not what you're doing.
I hope not.
Who's the game master?
What does that mean? My super asked me about the jumping again when I saw him today. He remains eager to act. He agreed with my new game plan to wait for another large event to happen and then call him to check on my dishwasher so he can intervene.
Right.
Yeah, quote unquote dishwasher. So for now, the ways in which the puzzle pieces of ecstatic dance, compassionate passing, patio dirt rituals, and ceiling collapse connects will remain a mystery. Okay, again, if you're new here, this is just part one of the story. We got some juice left to squeeze, so make sure you're following us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and click the link in the description or go to the next part of the story. And for y'all, we've got part two right now.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
you
I
guys
hope
remember.
that the juice we're squeezing isn't made
Human
out of
juice.
people.
Ah!
Soylent green juice. Spoiler.
No, it's not people juice, probably.
We don't want it to be.
No. I hope not. But this is I live below a cult leader and I fear I've angered her. Part two. And we got this update 11 days later. But before we get into it, do you have any thoughts about what OP should do?
I think, yeah, continue, just handle it through your landlord for now, for what you could do.
Absolutely.
I don't know. The stuff you've discovered is weird. I would be like, I want to move.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
wanna
to
move.
live where my ceiling is collapsing and the people above me are threatening me.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
If I have the ability to move, I'm moving.
I'm out of there. I'm saying, hey, landlord, for obvious reasons, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I wonder what, like,
Peace
if you
out.
can break your lease, or, like,
Yeah.
based on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I-
Unsafe living.
I would wanna move.
Circumstances.
The cult of the dirt sludge is above me. It's untenable.
Yeah. And then years down the line, we find out all of this stuff about the cult. And OP's like, I used to live below the cult of the dirt sludge.
Yeah, I was right there. I was right there beneath him.
Update 2, 11 days later. For those who are familiar with my unsettling neighborly encounters, I have a mix of both terrifying and somewhat encouraging updates to share. On Monday, my super came to replaster my bedroom ceiling. First, he said that my neighbors told the contractors she had a lot of plants because she makes bush medicines. What's that?
It's like medicines out that you use out in the bush.
Sure. She also told them that dancing is a part of her professional practice as a healer for people who are in bereavement after the loss of a loved one. So my friend and I weren't far off when we made the connection between her ecstatic dance and compassionate passing affiliations. I showed him new cracks in my living room ceiling that are growing in size and number by the day. He told me to send videos of the cracks to building management, but management suggested I start with a handwritten note by their door explaining how their behaviors are wreaking havoc on my life. I mean, OP's already told them. Doesn't seem like they really care.
They got dirt, they got sludge, they got dance, they got bush medicine.
I do think that you could potentially, I mean, I don't know why your landlord hasn't done this already, but usually if someone's running a business out of their apartment, that's kind of a big no-no. So you could see if the
They'd
landlord
probably
could
be
step
like,
in.
we're actually classified as a religious following.
Yeah.
We're classified as the
So we
Church
don't
of the
pay
Dirt
taxes.
Sludge.
Since the super was working in my apartment, my neighbor was actively bumping music and jumping. I wrote a note in which I requested she reduce the volume of her music and be mindful of the intensity of her activities. I explained that the jumping or dancing was causing significant new cracks in my living room ceiling, and I offered for her to speak with me directly if needed. While I was reluctant to suggest this, I knew she might try another stalking trick if I didn't give her the option up front. So I sent the notes. After 90 minutes, my super said he had to leave for an hour while the plaster dried, but he would be back soon. Of course, my neighbor chose the end of this time frame to come down when I was alone.
How do they know when you're alone? That's creepy.
That's really creepy.
Is the dirt whispering to them?
I think they're just like, they have their ear on the floor and they're just keeping track of all of OP's movements.
Yeah,
Or maybe they have some spy that's part of the dirt cult that just watches OP.
Yeah, that would, freaky.
They've bugged your house.
They dirted your house.
They dirted your house.
Bugged the house, but it's real bugs
Yeah.
from the dirt.
No, bugs in your house. When I opened the door, she again had the biggest fake smile and said, "Hi," then waved the note. "First of all," she said, "I want to thank you for your open communication. That's so important and so rare in our city." Fake flattery. She admitted that she dances, which she has to do for her mental health, but she claimed that she only dances in the mornings for 30 to 60 minutes, 90 minutes max. I knew she was lying, so I said that her actions are affecting my mental health. She followed up with a range of excuses, including that they have been in the process of rearranging furniture and unpacking boxes. What boxes are you unpacking? You've been living there for 3 years. And they sometimes watch movies in the evening with their loudspeakers. I showed her the cracks that were immediately visible from the doorway area. She pointed to one and said, "See, we used to have one table over there, but now we have two due to the furniture rearranging." This is so obviously a lie.
Are your tables made out of titanium?
So
Or
maybe
tungsten?
that's the reason. We also have cracks in our ceiling, and we all have to share this space. This is such BS. These are so obvious, so obviously lies. She's dancing so hard that your ceiling's cracking. And then she's saying, "Oh, the reason that you have cracks in your ceiling is because of the 2 tables we now have." Why do you have 2 tables?
Whereas the 2 tables are made out of dark matter. They're so heavy.
Yeah, that they're actively being pulled through the floor.
They're breaking the actual ceiling.
Yeah.
Which is absurd.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to break a ceiling, guys. They're made to be structurally sound. There's got to be a whole lot of
If
jumping
your
going on there.
joists are in place, then it should be sturdy and good.
Yeah, they're like, "We've been stacking tables up, so it must be that."
I mean, there are, if you do overload a certain area, it's like when my parents were redoing the kitchen, my mom wanted to put tile down, and the contractor was like, you can't do that because the way that it would overload the floor and it could collapse.
Yeah.
You go, oh, okay.
The floor at my last apartment did break, which was the person below me's ceiling. And we weren't doing any dance and dirt
were you
rituals.
part of dirt rituals, man?
Maybe.
I don't buy it.
But the whole floor cracked. The
There's something
concrete
shifty
cracked.
about you.
Dang.
Cracking.
You can join if you want to, Sophia.
Yeah, all right. I asked her about hosting any large events in the past month, which she flat out denied. She briefly mentioned that she does sessions, but didn't elaborate further. The following suggestion, I later realized, was entrapment. My neighbor said she would give me her phone number, go upstairs, lower the volume, then I should text her to let her know if I could still hear it. And if you're new here, there are multiple parts to this story, so make sure to follow us on the iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts. Okay, let's get back into this story. OP is about to be entrapped. Not good.
Not good.
Thankfully, my super came back while she was in the process of sharing her contact information. She immediately tensed up, quickly gave the number, and scurried off. As she passed my super, she randomly blurted, "We're best friends now," referring to me and her.
Girl, if you don't stop, I swear, that's just, cringe. Cringy.
"Are there no bounds to your lies?" I'd be like, "Oh, what? No, we're not." My super and I are both aware of the antics, so of course he didn't buy that manipulation tactic. I texted her that I couldn't hear the music now, to which she responded, "So glad to hear that. Thanks again for opening a line of communication. I'm always happy to chat. Hope you have a lovely day. Prayer hands. Heart emoji.
Her hands heart emoji.
In retrospect, I think she wasn't playing the music at all. Probably not. I also felt like our conversation was riddled with gaslighting, misdirection, and flat out lies. I was somewhat confused, but I know what I've been experiencing and I have plenty of evidence to prove it. Within hours of our conversation, my neighbor started up the loud music and dancing as if nothing happened. I was furious. I took new audio recordings and immediately emailed building management with my new evidence, footage of the ceiling cracks, along with a photo of my note. I explained that my neighbor was kind, though somewhat misleading, and expressed interest in accommodating my requests. I also said her behaviors were continuing as normal despite the false claims that she would take my experiences into account. The building manager said to keep her updated, but it was clear she assumed the situation would be resolved on its own. Nope. My neighbor continued with the incessant bass and heavy music and jumping shenanigans the next day and the day after. I continued to document everything.
Yeah, that's all you can do at this
Yep.
point. You just
If you're-
keep on building the documentation.
If your landlord's not doing anything. On Wednesday evening, I went out for a quick errand and again was a victim of the stalking tricks. She ran into me as I was entering the building, waited until I passed her on the stairwell, and then spoke up. She acknowledged that I'd probably still been hearing her activities the past couple days, and that I'll continue to hear them for the next few days, all due to rearranging furniture.
Just that level of like delusion
Yeah.
where you think that someone will buy that
Yeah,
would
someone's
make me
so
scared.
stupid.
Someone that is so just disconnected from real life that they think that excuse will be, oh, okay, great. Oh, you're rearranging furniture for 3 days. Great. And it sounds like music and jumping. Great.
I totally buy that. She said the coffee table had been sold that day. Not true. I was working in my living room all day and would have heard such a commotion in the stairwell. I said, yes, I've been hearing her loud and clear. Shortly after this in-person encounter, my neighbor went on to host a party. I heard people in the stairwell who seemed unfamiliar with whose apartment they were even visiting, and one guest introduced herself as a friend of someone else. While the music was much lower, the group began running back and forth overhead. Hearing these strange activities without the music was somewhat creepier than with the music. I took more recordings, then retreated to my bedroom. But of course, the group decided to migrate to their patio right above my head again. By 10:30 p.m., I had enough. They were no longer dancing, but the group's chatter, along with ethereal music, a female soprano singing vocalizations, was too much. I sent her a text. I explained that I understand she has every right to host guests in her space, but I was perturbed by the way she said to my face that any excess noise I might hear in the coming days was from rearranging furniture. I said I could hear music and conversations very clearly as the noise filters through my AC unit. I also said to please let me know if they will be hosting events in the future so I'm not caught off guard.
All right. We are long overdue for like the direct confrontation of like, I know you're not moving furniture.
I know.
So stop
Stop
telling me
lying.
you're doing that. Just whatever you're doing,
Do it quieter.
just, I don't know.
I don't care what you're doing.
Stalk me. You know when I'm not here. Just do it then.
Literally.
Or just stop it. Do it on the ground outside. You like dirt. Go put the dirt outside where it belongs.
Yeah, Caitlin says, yeah, why hasn't anyone called the damn cops? I think you need to start filing noise complaints, honestly. Because your landlord's no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
We got to start filing those noise complaints because 10:30's after quiet hours.
I guess it's good to not be like, it was someone being like, hi, oh my God, thank you so much, blah, blah.
Hi.
And then like going right back to it. I would not be friendly anymore.
No,
I would
I'd
not
be like,
entertain them. I'd be
"Shut
like,
up."
me and you aren't friends. Me and you aren't cool. What you're doing bothers me every day. And you just tell me lies.
Yeah, you're a freaking liar.
Whatever you're up to is freaking weird.
You're a freak.
And it disrupts me and my life.
And then you're good. While my neighbor didn't respond that night, within minutes of my sending the message, the group began to sing the Happy Birthday song in the most somber way I've ever heard it sung. I was able to record the second half of it. Do we have that recorded? They sang it in a monotone, and there was no clapping or cheering or any standard signs of merriment that occur after singing the song. I'm sorry, they went, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to the dirt. Happy
Terrifying.
birthday.
To you.
Happy birthday.
It's like they're doing monk, like the monk
Oh my God. No, OP thought they were singing birthday, but they were singing
dirt day.
And it's the day that they turn people into sludge and spray them on the dirt.
Ah, terrifying.
Uh.
The following afternoon, my neighbor sent me a wall of text in which she continued to lie. She said that the gathering was very small, only 4 friends, so it didn't even cross her mind to let me know it when she saw me earlier. She also said it was the first time they had hosted more than 2 people over this entire year. Stop lying. Stop it.
I just would like stop interacting with her
Yeah.
entirely,
I
and
would
I
just
would
call the
at this
police.
point I would be playing like the beginning of that the Who song
Yeah.
where it's just like a yell.
Yeah.
It goes
Over and over and over. And then every time she says,
yeah.
hey, like, it's a little loud, I'd be like,
I'd be like,
what are you talking about? I'm just rearranging furniture.
there's literally no music playing. I don't know what you're talking about.
She said when she first saw my text, they lowered the music volume and told the friends to quiet down. So she admitted that she saw my message but made no mention of any birthday affair. As for the furniture rearranging, she explained that it's been part of a long-term project and added more lies, like how they had just received a dining table and bookshelf they'd been waiting on for 8 months. Not only would I have seen such large packages in the stairwell, but also why share so much irrelevant information if being truthful. Finally, my neighbor said that they will be hosting 2 more events next week. Another small gathering of 4 friends next Wednesday in honor of her partner's birthday, and a larger gathering on Friday, again for his birthday. They're all of the things are for his birthday, actually.
We have multiple birthdays.
Like I said, she made no mention of singing happy birthday the night before. Who would host 3 birthday parties over 2 weeks? It was all false. She followed up 5 minutes later with a second text that explained she was late to respond because she's been in back-to-back sessions. So I finally had written evidence of her talking about these sessions. I didn't respond to the text. I refused to engage her or her partner any further. They continued to play music and stomp around that evening, but I had my boyfriend and friend who heard everything and validated me that all of this is absolutely maddening. On Friday, I finally called my building manager to explain everything. She needed to understand that something very strange and potentially dangerous is going on above me. Thankfully, I was finally believed. Good. I mean, it's ridiculous that they haven't done anything about this after all of the times that you complained.
Yeah, took them long enough.
Took them too long. Thankfully, I was finally believed. It turns out my building had no idea that she was running some form of business and hosting group events, which is illegal. I said that earlier. Also, how do they have no idea? You've been complaining about this and talking to the super and all that jazz. How do they have no
Yeah.
idea?
Conglomerations, probably. Who knows who owns the building?
I thought they at least had a vague awareness. The building manager said they would get the attorney involved ASAP to review their lease contract and pursue action. She asked for all my evidence, including written communications, a personal written account of verbal communications, audio recordings, and footage of ceiling damage. I've been taking videos of the ceiling cracks over the past few weeks to demonstrate how quickly they're growing. I made a Google folder that divided each category, dated every piece of evidence, and sent. I was so relieved. It felt like some form of action was finally in motion. I assumed the building attorney was working on a case against them over the weekend, so I ignored the relentless music and jumping. They better be. If after all of that, they're still not working on helping you, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me personally, I would have
Moved.
I would have been going up their apartment and been
Yeah.
like, knock, 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 knock. Hey,
Keep it
remember
down.
that thing you said you weren't going to do anymore? You're doing it right now.
Yeah, literally every time I hear them,
Knock, 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 knock.
keep
knock,
it
knock.
down. Keep it down. And they're like, oh, sorry, we're rearranging furniture. I'd be like, I see people in your house. This is more than 4 people.
There's no universe in which you rearrange furniture constantly for weeks
Yeah.
at a time.
I don't buy it.
Unless, I don't know, cult of the furniture movers.
Yeah. They're part of so many cults. How do they find the time? But today, Sunday, my neighbors have been hosting yet another gathering since 11:30 a.m. I've been hearing heavy bass, sporadic jumping, and chatting on their patio for going on 7.5 hours now. I literally would be banging on their door. I'd be calling the cops. I'd be banging on their door. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
While I've continued to collect my evidence, I decided to wait until tomorrow to check in with management. Around 5 p.m., I was quietly sitting on my couch when out of nowhere, I heard the door open from above. Someone jogged down and then pounded on my front door. I didn't move a muscle. The person on the other side waited for about a minute. I thought I heard keys jingling, and then they slowly retreated back upstairs and shut the door again. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on now. Call the police. Call the police. And there are some comments. Comment 1 says, I just found your story, and all of this and the dirt rituals on the patio are making me incredibly unsettled. Because if they are compassionate passing people, and she helps people with their grief while tossing dirt and an unknown substance around that's holding water, all I can think of is ashes.
It's humans. It's people. Oh.
Cremated, passed away people that are being tossed around and settled under the planks to absorb water and turn into a gross black sludge. I am genuinely afraid of whatever kind of disturbed these people are, because clearly with the gaslighting, creepy smiles, and blatant lies, something is wrong here. OP says, yeah, I've also speculated that there could be ashes in the plant soil. I didn't want to share too much about the compassionate passing stuff in my main post, since I know it's a controversial topic, but the groups they're involved in seem extreme for this realm. My neighbor has been the credited photographer for people on their journey to passing away. They've hosted oxygen removal parties.
What? From where? Where are we removing this oxygen?
And one of these parties failed to achieve the end-of-life goal, so they had to do it a second time. Are you...
They be ending people's life upstairs?
You can't. That's illegal.
Yeah, next time you call the police and you say, I think that they're doing homicides upstairs. Come quick.
Were they talking about upstairs or his friend that takes photography?
I think upstairs.
To me,
This
that
is my
sounded
neighbor.
like the friend has assisted.
It says they've
on some.
hosted. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's,
Yikes.
yeah. Oxygen removal party? Removing
Not
oxygen
great.
tube, says our commenter.
That's why I was
Wilson.
assuming at a hospital.
Oh,
because it's like
okay, at a
removing the
hospital,
tubes.
that's different. I thought they were saying that they were like putting a pillow. I do think, to be clear, I
But-
think that
I think that
I
was
think
talking
it's
about
because
the
it's
friend
you're
who
removing-
photographs it.
if
You're
it's
removing
going,
the oxygen tubes because
Yeah.
then you're gonna pass away.
if it's going through a hospital and you're going through those things, yeah, that's a person who's going through that situation of not being able to, maybe various different reasons why someone would choose to end their life with assistance. So that's not like the issue here. I thought they were saying that they were doing it at home.
Yeah, they're just putting people in a giant vacuum
And I was like, that's
chamber,
illegal.
removing all oxygen.
But it doesn't seem like that's exactly what they're doing. Hopefully not. But yeah, if they're doing it in their apartment, that's for sure illegal. I also think something is very wrong. So I hope they get the F out and move away ASAP. And there is another part to the story, a final part.
Well, the first moment that you actually become alive is when
Yeah.
you realize that you are just one with the dirt, with the cult of the dirt.
Yeah.
And that's what they're there. They're actually there to bring you to life for the first
Yeah.
time ever.
They're like, you don't understand. We just want to bring you closer to the dirt.
Oh, these people are so freaky, dude.
It's a mercy.
This is
Yeah, this is really freaky. I literally would have moved out so much quicker than OP seems to
Yeah,
have.
I would
OP's
not
not
be
even
staying there.
considering that.
I would be making more of a problem. I'd be
Yeah.
disrupting their activities
Genuinely,
with
if I was
music
dealing
of
with
my
this,
own. Like
yeah.
I would have a giant speaker on as high as close as I could to the ceiling, and I would be playing the most obnoxious sounds possible.
Yeah.
Just
Every
like
day.
animal noises, like
Mhm.
or like the Cocomelon intro,
Yeah. Over and over.
but like bass boosted.
Yeah.
and deep
Personally, I
fried.
think I would just be going up every time they did this and be like banging on their door and saying like, you need to stop. I cannot deal with this. But let's get into part 3. The music and jumping increased after the knocking incident. Maybe they were testing if I was home, but I'm rattled by how I feel watched when I'm minding my own business. At the same time, I want to keep laying low to protect myself. I still have very little information about this group. They're clearly escalating 3 events planned within 1 week, despite added pressure from everyone around them. In the meantime, I edited a new video with my recent recordings, including the creepiest happy birthday of all time, footage of the living room ceiling damage, audio recordings from the gatherings. Whenever my neighbors succeed in making contact or I'm notified about a solid resolution, I'll update the post. There's a YouTube.
Oh, mama.
I can hear it.
There's another crack growing in the ceiling.
Oh, Lord.
It's just like, what are they do? What's going on?
I'm just waiting for the happy birthday.
Oh, that's the note.
You hear it.
What?
It's like, happy birthday to you. This is so ominous. I'm
It's
so
like
scared. Yeah. it was
there's
like,
definitely
"Happy
something going on.
birthday."
There's some creepy thing going on where it's like
Oh,
someone passes
man.
away and then that's their actual birthday because
Yeah.
they return to the Earth Mother or whatever, the Dirt
And
Mother.
you guess who that does.
The
And then you can
dirt
turn off the
colony.
computer audio,
Ooh.
and everything else should be okay.
Ooh.
Oh boy! Scary!
I don't like it.
I don't like it. But there are some comments. Comment 1, if you're in the US, you can call the cops. Disturbing the peace is a real thing. Also, get enough of those and it voids an apartment lease, making it easier for the landlord to punt her out. OP says, yeah, that's part of the plan now. I called the building manager again this morning, and she said next time, call the cops ASAP for a noise complaint. Yes. I don't know how you've gone through all of this and haven't called the cops.
That is actually absurd.
That way, we'll have the police report and more evidence. Comment 2 says, you're not in a safe situation, and I would genuinely, seriously consider moving or staying with family or friends until you can break your lease. OP says, yeah, my mom offered to drive out from our hometown to stay with me if needed. But for now, I've asked the building manager to give me a day's notice before their attorney sends the letter. Then my boyfriend will stay over, and friends have offered to hang out during the day, so I'm never caught alone in the event of another confrontation. There is a third update, but I think, yeah, call the police, get family members to stay with you until you can break the lease, but don't be in this place alone because they've already stalked you,
Yeah, when you're
and they're going to blame you
when
for
you're-
getting them kicked out.
when your neighbors are stalking you and running a cult that involves mixing dirt with like probably human remains and
Yep.
then spreading it into your building and then the sludge is making your ceiling fall apart, it's time to call the police.
It's maybe time to call the police.
It's been time to call the police. Ugh.
I want to
Ugh.
this couch. There we go. Okay. Update 3. Attorney letter aftermath. 15 days later. Tuesday evening, my boyfriend and I were making dinner when we began to hear a standard outburst of stomping and clomping overhead. While I've continued to document the most egregious incidents since building management promised to pursue legal action, I've also tried to block out some of the sounds for the sake of my mental health. This would drive me crazy. I have, really quick, not been through anything like this, but I have had like people come to work on a roof, and it was because we had a leak actually after like the tropical storm that we had in,
Yeah.
you know, it was in San Diego. But so we had a leak in the roof, and so they had to come redo the roof, and literally just from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. just doom, 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 doom all day. And it drives you crazy. It's like your mental health goes down so much when you have to listen to that constant noise and construction. And it's pretty similar in this case, but also you were also terrified for your safety in this case, so it's even worse.
Yeah, you don't want to get turned into dirt.
But yeah, no, it's just really a nightmare to go through that. So definitely Get out of there. My boyfriend pointed out the shenanigans from above. He was genuinely startled, to which I replied, I told you, it's maddening. About 15 minutes after the upstairs settled down, my flimsy front doorbell rang. I crept over to look through the peephole and cringed. My neighbors were on the other side of the door, standing like statues, with hands behind their backs and heads cast down.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
opening. I'm not opening that
Nope.
door.
Nope.
I'm saying,
nope.
I'm saying, what do you want? And then if they don't say anything, I say, I'm calling the police. Their determined stance signaled that there was no way they would leave until I answered. If I chose to ignore, I knew they would either return, send a text, or stalk me on the street again. Since my boyfriend was present, I figured this confrontation was the safest option. So I waved him over with fear in my eyes that conveyed all he needed to know. When I opened the door, there were no fake smiles. However, in typical fashion, my neighbors began the conversation with a misdirection. I just wanted to check in with you since you never responded to my text, the woman said. Was there something in the language, or... Keep in mind, our final text exchange had been over 2 weeks prior, so I knew that was not the point of their visit. I told her the language was fine. I just didn't know what to say. From there, the gaslighting and denial campaign took off in full swing. I told my neighbors we had just heard commotion minutes before their arrival, which elicited reactions of pure shock. And if you're new here, there are multiple parts to this story, so make sure to follow us on iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts. Okay, let's get back into this story. We were just drinking tea. Haha. Yeah, we were just sitting on the couch drinking tea. I'm literally like, this is me. Bong.
Bing bong. Whoopsh. I don't know. I'm like genuinely at
I
this
think they
point,
want OP to crash out.
I'd be afraid of these people
Yeah.
just because of how unhinged their words are. But like, they're not even like scary words.
Yeah.
It's more just like, what universe do you think that's like, I'm going to believe this?
Okay, there's an episode of Black Mirror where this girl has spoilers for Black Mirror. I don't know what episode it is. I haven't seen it. But she has this like pendant that she can change reality. And she makes it so only one girl knows that she's changed reality and basically drives this girl mad. Yeah. Carly knows what I'm talking about. And this is what it feels like. They're like, what are you talking about? And they're trying to actively make OP go mad because they're keeping her up. Noise is just like a huge way to like make someone go crazy.
But honestly, why haven't we invested in noise canceling headphones?
I think she has. I think she said I've been putting, blocking the sound.
No, we got to get those nice noise cancelers.
Yeah. The rest of the conversation, which I tried to end 3 times before they finally got to the point of their check-in, went similarly. Every statement I made was returned with expressions of bewilderment, as if I were speaking in tongues, and every response was riddled with lies. At times, the couple would accidentally contradict themselves, such as, that one Wednesday party was the first time we had people over in 2022. Or, since 2020, right, since 2020. And we didn't have any other parties that weekend, especially not on Sunday. Sunday is when we have our dance class. Yeah, and we were hungover on that Sunday from our party. So they just keep going back and forth.
I would not entertain. I'd say,
No,
hey,
get out.
Stop talking to me.
Get
out.
off
Off my doorstep. Go back upstairs.
Calling the cops.
Don't talk to me again. Do not come back.
They also claim that they're too old to be partiers, even though they allegedly held 3 birthday parties in honor of the guy. Since my neighbor is a dancer, her body language became amusingly expressive, as if her motions would somehow sway my opinions. Wait, I'm just imagining her being there like, we never had a party. We're too old for parties.
I can't believe that you would say such things.
What are you talking about? That's crazy, OP. At one point, the woman said, wait, can you do the dancing? I think we should resolve this right now. Well, undulating her arms towards herself in my direction. Wait, she was doing that. I think we should resolve this right now.
Get away from me.
Yeah. Shoot.
I don't know. What is throwing water on somebody
Yeah, you go.
technically assault?
Scram.
Like, what can you do?
I don't know. Close the
Say,
door.
officer, I just spilled that water. It was an
I
accident.
spilled that water. It looked like
that's
she was...
what you should tell them.
Yeah.
Get a glass of water, splash it on them, and then when they go, "Why did you do that?" You go, "I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't do anything.
It was raining.
Yeah.
You're standing outside in the rain.
You
splash."
It looked like she was attempting to send energy waves at me. How about this? She proposed. How about one of you? Now I'm imagining that her husband, she's doing the thing where she has her arms behind her back and her husband's like, how about you?
It's just so weird, dude.
Motioning at my boyfriend with both arms. Come up to our apartment right now and walk around. Swirling fingers in a clockwise circle above her head.
It's giving Coraline.
Yes! This is so scary. Don't go up to the apartment, OP. Don't go up there. She's going to take you to the other place. And she's going to sew buttons into your eyes. I could tell she really wanted to invite herself into my apartment, but she sensed that wasn't an option given my stoic demeanor throughout the entire pandering episode. I told her no. We were making dinner when they interrupted.
Girl, stop it. Don't say, no, we were making dinner. Say, no, I want nothing to do with you.
Look, OP, watch. That's the door. Close it. Just shut it. Easy. At this point, my neighbors finally admitted why they had come. They said they had received a letter that was aggressive and included additional wild accusations. The guy asked point blank, "Did you involve the building?" I told him I did because I was confused and they had not listened to my requests. I also said that I genuinely don't know what the letter says. The building manager told me to tell them that it was in the hands of management now. With that, both members of the couple said, "Okay." I said, "Okay," and they awkwardly retreated upstairs. I shut the door, heart racing. I was so glad that my boyfriend was present to witness the gaslighting and validate me. Every time I interact with them, I'm left confused as to what was even said. Within 10 minutes of the confrontation, I received a call from my super. He said that, presumably after our talk, the couple called him and asked, "What's going on?" He said, "I don't know, I'm just the super." They asked to schedule a meeting with him. He declined. The following day, it was clear that the neighbors were not happy. The woman moved their speaker and subwoofer. Yes, they admitted they have a subwoofer in their apartment. They have a subwoofer?
They've got the subs.
They've got a subwoofer?
They've got the subs.
Back into their living room and bumped it so loud that the glasses on my bar cart were tinkling together rhythmically. I emailed the building manager with videos of the repaired ceiling, mentioned the confrontation, and attached a couple audio recordings of jumping that I'd taken amidst writing the note. It's true that neither my super nor I know the contents of the letter. Was it a warning or a notice that the eviction process would commence? But the building manager replied that she was sorry they came downstairs. She didn't understand why they felt the need to confront anyone, and hopefully the letter would do its job. While all of this sounds like I've made my situation worse, there's now a silver lining of hope. After the increase in music and jumping on Wednesday and Thursday, I noticed a stark change on Friday. I started to hear commotion as if the couple was either soundproofing their entire unit or in the act of moving. Think rearranging furniture, but for real this time.
Right, because that is
Yeah.
a distinct sound
You can
that
hear
sounds
it.
different than
Jumping.
psytrance music and jumping up and down over and over and over again.
I heard items being dragged, loud bangs, and a power drill. Maybe they're moving out.
They're taking the bodies out of the floor.
Oh,
dude.
that's terrifying. The moving style activities continued throughout the weekend, including Sunday morning when I saw a professional cleaner working in the building stairwell. I was leaving for a day trip. Of course, they would not be evicted at the drop of a hat. I mean, is it a drop of the hat? The hat's been dropping for months.
Yeah, it's been at least a month. It's probably been longer.
However, I think it's possible that the letter angered the couple enough to make an arrangement with the building. If they leave on their own terms, they won't be penalized for breaking the lease. The only other in-person encounter I've experienced since the confrontation was on Sunday evening. My boyfriend and I were unloading our friend's car, which was parked outside the apartment building after our day trip. It was taking some time since my boyfriend couldn't find my jacket he borrowed. Since I was preoccupied by the jacket, I didn't give any thought to the neighbors. Right as we geared up to shut the car doors and say our goodbye, I looked up to see my neighbors crossing the street about 15 feet in front of our car while holding hands. And also she's holding hands and she's going,
She's waving them around like it's interpretive dance. Ooh, and she's making Ooh, she's making
Yeah, she's
theremin
going,
noises.
They both looked to their left, made brief eye contact with blank expressions, and then continued forward. Naturally, this could be a coincidence, but the front window of their apartment has a direct view of the street out front. It was also somewhat late to be going out on a Sunday, and they didn't enter any of the businesses that are opposite our building. If they had wanted to avoid me, I was quite conspicuous while holding a pumpkin. They could have walked on the sidewalk behind us. I asked my boyfriend if he saw them too. He did. By the way, I see that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But we've got a little more, just a teeny bit, to this long tale. Any final thoughts?
I want to know what the sludge is, man. I need to know what the sludge is now.
I need to know what the sludge is. Tell me what the sludge is.
Tell me the sludge is not people.
Please.
Please.
Please. But there's a little left. I'll ask my super if he knows about any developments, including a potential move. The neighbors are still here, obviously. But in the meantime, my Ring camera arrived. I'll be installing it outside my door this afternoon, which will give me a better sense of what's happening. Let's see if I receive a confirmation that they are really heading out the door once and for all. If they aren't, I expect my Ring camera will provide evidence as to how many and how often people are participating in the jumping routines. When I woke up this morning, I immediately heard some of my overhead light fixtures shaking as the neighbors danced to music with hand drums and a singer shouting in a foreign language. So my torture continues, but signs point to a peaceful, or at least a peace-restoring resolution on the horizon. Comment 1 says their really erratic behavior sounds beyond cult stuff. It sounds like substances. But who knows? OP says, yeah, after the 7.5 dance party on Sunday, I also started to suspect that substances are involved. I also wonder what kind of bush medicines they're making on a patio in an urban area. And another commenter says, genuinely, F those guys. Some people just have no consideration of others. And I'm so sorry you have to go through this. Could you stay at your boyfriend's place temporarily while this blows over? OP says, thank you for the support. He's offered for me to stay, and I will if I notice them continuing to stalk me. But I worry that me leaving for an extended period will only serve as an invitation for the neighbors to escalate again. I traveled a lot during the summer, which is likely when the gathering started, so I'd rather stick around to keep them in check. I also got my Ring camera set up, so that makes me feel a bit better. And folks, that's the end of that story. Man, oh man, what a tale. OP, I'm glad that your neighbors are getting out, but if you ever experience anything like that, call the cops. If your super and your landlords aren't doing anything about it, bang on their doors, get people to help you. You don't have to be nice about it. Don't worry about being a snitch to people who suck. But that is the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.